How do you heal after you've had a bad relationship and you're now in a new relationship? First and foremost, I hope that you took some time to process the feelings that occurred in the last relationship so that way you don't bring in all of that raw emotion into the new relationship. But whether you did or didn't, here is a couple steps that you can take to heal while you're in a relationship. Commit to taking emotional responsibility and being disciplined in your emotions. This does not mean you have to be a robot, and it does not mean that you have to be perfect, but it does mean that when you feel your feelings, which means that you have to be self-aware, when you feel feelings or when you feel triggered or when this person is like amazing, but you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, your role here is to feel those feelings, to process them through journaling or talking with a friend. Then hopefully you're with a partner who is very kind, compassionate, patient, and understanding. You will communicate that to them. Hey, I really appreciated that you bought me flowers, but if I'm honest, it brought up some feelings for me in past relationships where that didn't happen, or where that did happen, but the person was still harmful to me in the end. We will not place a responsibility on that person to make you feel differently, but if they are a healthy partner, they'll sit there, they'll listen to you, they'll rub your back and maybe ask you some processing questions. I also want you to learn self-soothing techniques when you do feel triggered, or when you feel like, man, what's going to happen next? Or what if this is just like my ex? I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to do some grounded meditation and mindfulness where you look around the room and just remind yourself that you are not in any real danger. Keep a list of all the things that your partner does that makes you feel loved and safe. So that way, when you have these moments where you're wondering what's going to happen next, you can reach for that notebook, that journal, that page, and just read off all of the things to remind your brain that you are actually safe here. The biggest key, though, to healing in a relationship is open communication. This does not mean that you trauma dump over your partner, but it does mean that you share and that you're vulnerable and that you stay ahead of the trauma that could possibly be lurking underneath. When you call these things out, you're not leaving room for them to eat you up inside or make you feel like your feelings are the boogeyman and they're just waiting to come out and attack this beautiful relationship that you have. Speak out, let them know how you're feeling and saying, hey, you know what, like, I love that, or you did that and it made me feel a way, and I know you may not mean it that way, but can we talk it through? What did you mean when you said this or when you did this? So you take emotional responsibility, but also make sure you're with a partner who's very caring and understanding, and last but not least, make sure you're being vulnerable and sharing. I hope that this helps.